everybody. Hello. I hope this is not too dark. Okay. It is a bit dark. Let's try see the settings. Let me see. At least one. Okay. I'm still learning this. It's new to me, so that's why I came in early. Hello, beautiful people. My name is NTOMBIKAYISE and I am your host for the new podcast. I'm just worried about the lighting. I feel it's a bit dark. Okay, I'm not sure, but I feel like everything is just dark. Let me try see if we can get a good lighting. Okay, it is a bit dark. Maybe it's the position of the camera, but anyway, let's see. How can we make it work for us? It's still dark. Okay, much better this one. Can we try see if this light as well is making it? Okay, what do you think, guys? Whatever that is, yeah. Can you give an advice? Because just okay, there we go. We're getting good lighting. Hopefully this is good. I have been looking forward to those days, so today it has finally arrived. Let me just quickly. Okay, perfect. Hi guys, I'm nervous. Please excuse my nervousness. I started early because I wanted to check if everything is going to be fine. So now I hope everything is okay. You can see me from the other side and the lighting is not bad. Okay, let me try to do this. Do I need this? Okay, I'm gonna try and use hopefully it's going to be audible. Okay. Hello everybody, hello beautiful people. My name is NTOMBIKAYISE and I am your host for the new podcast. This is our first episode. That's why everything is not perfect, but I know that we start somewhere in this journey called life. You start with what you have, wherever you are. So we cannot wait for perfect conditions because they might never happen or they might take longer. So now I have decided to take a step of faith to start this life, which I am still learning. I'm still learning. You'll excuse, the errors and things that maybe you might, you might see that are not like in place. But one thing I know is that I'm excited that I have started this journey. It has been, I wanted to cancel. I wanted to say, no, it's not yet time, but I believe that it is time. So we are going to definitely enjoy ourselves and grow together. And one day when you see me out there, having the greatest beautiful studio and my podcast reaching millions and millions and millions of people, you will be attesting to that you know what, we saw her. She started from where she was with what she had. And yeah, so beautiful people, because I started early, I'd love to share something quickly because now I just feel like because I started 15 minutes early, just for me, to understand this and to learn this, one thing that this podcast is about this podcast is to awaken the sleeping giant inside of you. and a personal revolution. Thank you, the ones that are joining right now. I'm so excited, family. Thank you, beautiful people, for joining in. And this podcast is about personal revolution, and it is about you questioning the limits you've accepted. So I'm a great believer that we are wealth creators, and I'm a great believer that we are game changers, and I'm a great believer that we are legacy builders. And in most cases, we never see that in ourselves. But honestly, if you were not here on earth, we wouldn't be complete. There would be a missing puzzle. So you are supposed to be here. You are supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. And that's why I'm forever grateful for that I am called for such a time as this. And I am called to come and contribute to humanity, whatever that I came to leave, as footprints and as a mark. So, one thing I like is that, we need to be so kind with ourselves. We need to be so loving with ourselves. In most cases, we are so hard on us, like you become so good to other people and you don't become good to yourself. So another thing that I'm here to remind you is that you are the most beautiful person ever. There isn't a person beautiful as you on this earth. There isn't a person that has all your qualities that you have and that you're contributing here on earth. So, and please, just if you can write me if my audio is not audible. I believe that it is audible. And okay, the lighting. I'm not sure about the lighting, but I believe that it is also, you can see me. And yeah, back to being kind to ourselves. It is so important to always be kind to yourself and love yourself and take care of yourself and nurture yourself and make sure that you eat healthy, you exercise as your ability would allow you. I always tell people that I do 1% per day. I don't kill myself. I don't do 100. I do 1% per day, because 1% is equals to 365. We have 365 days in a year. So I give myself 1% per day, and that helps me not to have pressure, and that helps me to, even when some days I don't wanna, do anything. I know that 1% does not require much from me, especially when it comes to exercise. The other aspects of my life, I try to see my capacity, because each and every person has got their own capacity on how you can be able to handle pressure, success, finances, money. Some people cannot handle billions, their capacity, or they have not built that capacity. They have not developed themselves to be able to handle such. So another thing that I would like to add before we start the podcast is that, look at the people that you have that are surrounding you. Are they giving you positive, vibes, or negative? Because energy never lies. And if you surround yourself with negative energy, I'm telling you, you'll end up being a negative person, and you'll end up not loving your life and not accepting, the person that you are, because now you have this negative energy around you. So choose wise who you want in your space, choose wise who you would like to have. This The purpose of the podcast is to awaken the giant in you, as I said, the giant that is sleeping in you, or the giant that is awake but is still walking very slow, feeling like you're not gonna be able to get to where you want to get. I just want to tell you that, what, you are so amazing and special and great, and we are waiting for you, your potential, your gifts, your talents, your skills. We're waiting for you to give us that, because there is no other person who can give it the way you do. So, starting now. Hi guys, hello beautiful people. My name is NTOMBIKAYISE and I am your host for the Women in Business podcast. This is our first episode. We are going to tell you a game changer. We are going to talk about wealth creation. We are going to talk mindset, personal development, and entrepreneurship. I am a great believer that we have to start businesses and grow our economy from every place you are in your countries We need to be contributors of the economy and make sure that we change the game. We leave the legacy for the next generation and generations to come. So today we're going to talk. My introduction is in the. I love this story. It's a story, ne? It's in the Bible. I love this story because it shows you that sometimes you might feel that you are not enough, or you might feel that you are not called to be something, but only to find that what you are doing in your private space is preparing you for the public space. There's a man called David in the Bible. If people don't know the Bible, I think we all know the Bible, Nate. So there's a man called David. This man was a shepherd. He was tending the livestock of his family, and the brothers were the ones who were doing the war thing, who were going to different spaces to explore different things. But he was just this man who would go and tend the livestock of his father. So one thing about David is that it means that he was working alone in most cases. He was, tending the livestock, the sheep, the cows, and whatever that they had in the family. So the thing why I want to share this story, I want to show you something great, that in your private space, what you do when you are alone, it is very important, because it will show up, or to show off outside the world, or outside your space where you are. So whatever that you do, whatever that you are feeding yourself, whatever that you're giving yourself, whatever you're reading, whatever you're watching, whatever you're hearing, it is in a. Okay. Hi guys, hello guys, hello beautiful people, we are back. So I was talking about this man called David. Was tending his family's livestock, and he didn't doing in private is going to be needed in public. So whatever that you do in your space, whatever that you're doing as a woman, whatever that you're doing as a person, you need to know that you are developing yourself into something that one day we will need, or the country will need, or even your family would need, or you will need where now yourself, or where you find yourself. Because now we're talking women in business. I'm talking about, if you are aspiring to become an entrepreneur, a business owner, you need to work on yourself every day. So you need to work on your skills. You need to read books. You need to find books that are aligning with whatever that you would want to become. So in most cases, I would say that if you are alone and you are not doing the work, you're not putting in the work, when one day opportunities arises, you're not ready. So you find that opportunities are coming, but you are not ready for that, and that's why we get incompetency. Sorry, guys, the English, it's not make sure the data is depleted. So you find that a person is not competent, to handle that particular project, or that particular thing that they need to handle at that time. So as I'm saying, David was tending the sheep. David fought and killed a bear alone, with his own bare hands, maybe finding things to fight and ending up killing the bear. And David, even in that space again, he found himself killing the lion. So he was it was like sort of a training ground, but he was not even aware of it. So imagine if you are aware that you want to own a business, you want to build empires, what more efforts you would put in your private space where you are alone when you are doing the work. So then this David man, he went home, and he never told anybody that I have killed a lion, I have killed a bear. For maybe the family to to say, wow, sometimes we like praise when we are not even ready for the project. We are not ready for the businesses. We're not ready for, to be in the public space to even talk about, whatever that we are starting. So I would say that in that regard, keep what you're doing private until you feel now it's time for you to announce it publicly. Sometimes you don't even need to announce it. Your project or the success will just talk for itself. So you don't need to even tell people that I am a successful speaker. People will be seeing it, or they will be attesting, or they will be witnessing to you being a successful speaker, author, business owner, every other aspect of your life that you want to grow. So David killed a lion and a bear, only to find that it was preparation for what? For him to kill the giant. So there was a giant called Goliath. This giant was terrorizing the people, and everyone was scared of the giant because the giant was killing everything and everyone that comes and tries to fight the giant. So the giant trusted itself that there is no person, no man, nothing can bring me down. But because of David going alone all the time and tending to his father's sheep and training and fighting things there, when he came, he was even bringing food to the brothers for him to see this giant. He was not even there to fight or to see this, he was bringing food, and he had the giant, insulting the children of Israel. Sometimes we need to be so jealous of poverty, the way it terrorizes our communities, the way it terrorizes our countries, the way poverty is taking the innocence of our children, the way poverty is taking innocence of our youth, the way poverty is taking, people who have good dreams to be in jails because they are hungry and they go and they steal. And we can be a solution to this whole thing. We can be a solution to this. That's why there is this podcast called Women in Business. If women, we can arise and start businesses and open companies and start from where we are with what we have. Imagine how many people you will employ, that you will become a solution. You'll be putting food on the table for these people. And imagine, giving them freedom to choose. Because I always say, what, I'm not after money, but I'm after the freedom that you have when you have money. You have the freedom to choose where you want to go, what you want to eat, what kind of a car you want to drive, what kind of a house you want to stay in. It's like you have the freedom of choice when you have the money. So it gives you freedom, but money is not freedom. It just gives you the freedom. So David became so jealous of what this giant was doing to the children of Israel. So where are the women who are going to be jealous of what poverty, lack, and other things that we are facing in our country is doing to our people? We need women who will arise and, you listen to what poverty is saying, because poverty is making our children to be slaves. We become slaves ourselves as well to other people, because of we are not ready to stand up, put on those working shoes and start working. Get out of our comfort zone. Like today, I'm out of my comfort zone, guys. Like, this was not an easy journey for me to start this life. The first thing that happened is that I left like the lives and long time ago, many years ago, and I stopped doing lives, and now I started having fear and being comfortable where I am, and I felt like, no, this is not, I'm not supposed to be doing this, no, until Hi, sis. I see Sis Putza. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, everyone that is joining in. I started earlier because I needed to, to just get used to getting out of my comfort zone. So, this man called David, then now he goes to this camp, and then he starts seeing this giant who's insulting people, his people. Imagine in our own country having people who are keeping our people as slaves. If you have checked, there was a video that was trending on TikTok, a young girl who was speaking of how they are mistreated as in the hospitality industry, as they go and look for jobs as waitresses and waiters, the way they are exploited. So we need to have this thing that David had when he listened to Goliath, insulting and saying, you uncircumcised, Israelites. He was like insulting them, and something in David arose and said, "No, what? I am not going to allow somebody to insult my people." We need to come to a point where, as a person, as a woman, you start to feel that, what, I will never allow another child, like, I always see children as my own children, like children at the streets or wherever I meet young kids or children. Because I have kids, I feel like I'm a mom to all these kids. And when I see them doing wrong things that I can be able to be the change, I get so jealous that what am I doing? So the guy David is showing us that, what, I can't stand somebody who insults my nation. I cannot stand somebody who takes my people for granted. And David arose and said, I will fight this man. He spoke to the king and said, give me an opportunity. I will fight this man. And the king, because now David was a young man, and sometimes people can look at you and not see that there's a giant in you and you're a great leader. You are that great person who can bring change into South Africa. You are that great person that we are waiting for us to get liberation. This man said to the king, can I? And the king looked at the young man. Sometimes people can look at you and not see that God has just given you so much that you can change the game. There is no person that cannot change the game. It just takes what you do in your private space for you to stand in the public space and to change the game. So, David started saying, no, what? I want to fight this person. I cannot allow this person to speak to my people like that. And the king said, no, you don't qualify. No, you're not even wearing you're not even wearing the armor of battle. And the king said, no, what, let me borrow you my armor, wear mine so that you can fight. They started putting the armor. Sometimes you don't need an armor. Sometimes you don't need anything else but what we're doing in your private space. You need that skill that you have sharpened over time to bring solutions into the business world. You need that skill that you have sharpened over time to come and train women in business so that they can come and change the game. Because to be honest with you, without the freedom of having, then we won't be able to do anything. I mean, money makes the world go round. Without money, I cannot be doing this live, because for me to have all these equipments and for me to be here and to be doing this, it's money. So we need women who would say, you know what, I am going to arise and I'm going to do this thing. And from there, David wore the armor, and you know what? He was a young boy. It did not fit him. And he just told the king and said, you know what, can I not wear anything? Can I just do what I know? And David started now using the sling. There's something they called a sling and a stone. When you're busy sharpening the skill inside of you, the skill in your business, the skill in your career, the skill in everything else that you aspire to do, then you will be able to come up with solutions that are so simple but can change the whole atmosphere of your country, the whole game being changed by what you've been practicing in private, what you've been doing when no one is watching, what you've been doing when people did not see that you are a great person, you are the one with solutions. And even when you enter that space, people start looking at you and looking at just a small girl or a young woman and they don't know that you have the solutions to what they need for the problem that they are having. So then David used that sling and killed Goliath. The thing is that why I am talking about this man, I wanted to show us that sometimes we feel like we don't qualify to be in battles, we don't qualify to be in certain spaces. But to be honest with you, you have all what it takes inside of you. You have everything inside of you, but you need to work on it. You sharpen it every day. You work on that skill every day. You work on you every day. Personal development is very important. You know, when you work on yourself, your mindset, how you think about things, how you see things, then that changes the game in your life first before you can give it to other people, because you cannot give from an empty cup. You can never pour from an empty cup. You need to fill yourself up. You need to be ready. You need to stand on your own. Discipline yourself. When you don't want to wake up in the morning, you wake up. When you don't want to write that book, you write it. When you don't want to start that business, you start it trembling, scared, and not knowing whether it's going to work or not. You know what I know is that we don't know what tomorrow has for us, but we have today. What are you doing today with what you have? So then David used what he had. He had a sling and a stone, and he killed the giant, and the giant died, and everybody celebrated the man. And the second thing about David, I want to show you something, that David was a young man that when Samuel came and God said to Samuel, go, I want you to go and I want you to anoint the king. I want you to anoint a king. There's a man that I've chosen for myself in the house of, maybe I forgot the name. It's fine. Doesn't matter. But I want you to go, of Jesse. I want you to go to the house of Jesse and anoint a young man who's going to be the king in the future. You know, when they were anointing people, like now, I'm starting this business, it can take me 5 years to build a solid brand. It can take me 10 years to build a solid brand. We just want quick things, but I am anointed for the business. I am anointed to start and be successful in businesses. So now they sent this man called Samuel to go and speak to and go and anoint a king. So when the man gets there, he finds 3 men, young men, the sons of Jesse. David is out there tending the sheep of his father. And then when Samuel gets there, he tells Jesse that God has sent me to come and anoint one of your sons is going to be a king. So then when they get there, when Samuel starts to try and anoint this one, God says, no, not this one. And the second one, no, not this one. And the third one, no, not this one. And then now they are puzzled because they didn't think that their brother, who is just a sheep, who's tending the family's livestock, can be a king. So sometimes in life, you can even, when yourself feel like you don't qualify to be in the businesses. Sometimes you feel like you are not qualified to be a success, to be what you are supposed to be, to build concepts, to sell products, to sell services. You don't feel qualified. But when God has chosen you to come and bring a solution and for you to become a business leader, you are going to be that business leader, but you have to have that in you and work on yourself so that when opportunities come, you are ready. David was busy tending the sheep there, but he was busy skilling himself to becoming whatever that he was called to become. So work on yourself every day. As I say, personal development is very important. Personal development is very important. So if we don't work on ourselves, thank you, Mr. J. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone that has just joined in. If you're not training yourself to be ready to go to the battlefield, which is businesses, careers, everything else that you aspire to become, I am telling you that's why we have incompetent people sitting in high positions. It is because people are taking what they've given for granted. But if you can embrace what you have been given and start working on it and becoming excellent. I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about excellency. We will go to spaces and you ask yourself, why did this person come and work in this space if they are not even interested? The way you treat people, the way you talk to people, the way you don't even have time for these people. You are just you just in that space. But why don't we, women, arise? Women in business, be excellent in everything you do, whether it's a product that you are busy with, work with diligence and excellency. And whether you are giving a service, be excellent in what you are doing. Work on it every day. As a speaker, sometimes I speak to myself, looking myself on the mirror and start laughing at myself because I am trying to, I am sharpening the gift because I feel I still have a long way to go. I have not arrived. I have not even started. So I'm still working on it every day. I look myself on the mirror and then start speaking and then I would start saying, no, I still need more practice. I still need more practice. Even when I'm writing, I will write. You'll find that there are papers that I've thrown on the ground because there's something I'm looking for, that excellency. But you start where you are with what you have because you cannot start perfect. You cannot start excellent. You start, you make mistakes, you fall, you stand up, you grow, you start. You know what? There is no ending in the starting. You start again and again and again and until you are becoming that person that you have envisioned yourself to be. So I know I want us to talk about the last person that I want to mention today because it's just our introduction for the first episode. There's a man called Joseph. You know what fascinates me about this man called Joseph is how resilient he was and how consistent he was and how committed he was. He never gave up. So we have a generation of women. When we see things getting difficult, we give up. When we see things are not going our way, we feel no, this is not it. We are leaving the course. So I'm saying women in business, arise. Starting a business is not easy. That one I should tell you, it's not easy because there are some people who would not even buy, the ones that you thought these ones are my diehard supporters, and they don't buy. I'm talking about people that are close to you and they don't buy your products, they don't use your services. And you feel like, no, maybe I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to. Can I tell you, you do that business even when no one is buying anything. You keep on selling. You keep on giving that service. You keep on working on it. You keep on putting effort on. I'm telling you. And I always say, give yourself time. Don't rush the process. Give yourself 2 to 3 years and see. You will see something shaping and you will see yourself going somewhere. It might be one person who bought that one product, but that is a win. It can be 2 people who bought that product, but that is a win. You never give up on your dreams and you never give up on that business idea. I sat down when I looked at the stats of our Black nation and Black businesses. I see that there is no sustenance. We can sustain our business, but the next generation won't find that business still operating. Why is that? Because there is no consistency in us. It's like we open businesses, they flourish quickly, and then you are happy that you're making this money. You take the money, you buy the cars, you buy the clothes. We go to Diamond Walk. There's nothing wrong to go to Diamond Walk. There's nothing wrong. But there is time for everything. If you're starting a business, you just got your first million. It doesn't mean go to tata that first million and go blow it and buy all the Gucci's, the LV, so that we can see that we are living the life. Reinvest the money. Reinvest the money and think of the future. Think of the future generation. With what am I going to leave for the next generation and next generations to there? The clothes, the cars, we won't take them, we won't give them to our kids. What if they never even like your style? So all I'm saying is that let's start businesses, let's work on them, let's give it our all. Let's take the money that we get, let's reinvest it back to the business, reinvest it back to the businesses, buy other things. We need, as we go with this podcast, we'll learn a lot. Like I want us to learn about, where can we invest, where can we reinvest, other than product services. There are some facilities, places that you can invest your money in. Your money works for you while you are sleeping, or the money is working while you are sleeping. You are getting paid. So we need to come with those concepts, we need to build those, because now we are changing the game, we are changing how we used to do things. And then the other thing that I would want us to look and focus on is, let's not only focus on products and services, but let's, on this product and services, let's add concepts. Concepts, building concepts. You're at home, you're sitting, or you're at work, you're sitting, you're watching, you're looking at people. There's so many things that you can build concepts on, that you can monetize, that you can build a business on, that the money can work for you while you are sleeping, because online things, they're using your concepts, to make people, to empower people, to grow people, to groom their people, to conduct workshops with your concepts. So if we can come to that point as women, that we stand up and we arise and we make sure that we bring the solutions on the table, we bring these concepts on the table, we bring these services on the table, we bring these products on the table, we are going to change the game, and we are going to build wealth. We're going to build a legacy that is going to be for our children and for our children's children. In my closing, Joseph never gave up. Joseph never gave up on all the challenges that he went through. Remember, he was thrown in the pit by his brothers. If you know the story, he was thrown in the pit. Brothers. So sometimes in life, you would start a business and your family and friends don't support you. They even try to kill the business. But if there's a fire burning inside of you, and when God has given you that idea, no one can take it away from you. You just need to focus, and you need yourself. Sometimes even people that you think can support you might not support you. So you need to have the resilience. You need to build it. You need to believe in you, in yourself. You need to motivate yourself. You need to be your own motivator every day. You tell yourself that I'm a game changer. I am going to build this business. I am going to build this empire. I am doing this. I am going to be in property. I am going to build estates. I am going to own this. I'm going to own that. You tell yourself, you do it yourself, because sometimes you need somebody else or the next person to tell you that you're good, you can do it, and you never get that. So you need to build that by yourself. So Joseph had that in him, because they threw him into the pit. They were talking, let's just kill him. And then they said, no, let's throw him into the pit. Sometimes people will throw you in the pit. But when God has assigned you to be a great person, you will be out of the pit. And if you can read that story, they say that pit was supposed to have water. In most cases, the pit always have the water. But for that, because God knows things that we don't know, like God knows before. God sees things before. So you know what? I love God. He says that I have good plans to prosper and not to harm you. So he will even prepare. That cistern, that thing they threw him in, had no water at the time they were throwing him in. And they sold him into slavery. But the man never gave up on himself, never gave up on the dream, never gave up on the purpose that I saw what I was. I saw the dream. I saw the stars. I saw the moon. I saw my family bowing down to me. He did not understand, but he had the dream. You need to have an idea. You need to have a vision. So in that idea and vision, the man he was driven by it. If you have a vision, that's why even the Bible says that where there is no vision, people perish. You need an idea. You need to have a vision. Where are you going? What are you doing in life? What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? What are your dreams? You write them down. Okay, I don't want to quote a lot of spaces, but write it down so that you can know where you're going. If you're building a business, you will know, as a woman who's building a business, where I'm going and what is it that I want to achieve in this business, and what is my vision. I want to be this big. I want to have maybe 5 McDonald's that I've bought as franchises. I want to have my own products that I have started from scratch, my own skincare products. I want to invent this. I want to be innovative in this area of technology. I want to invent a software that does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have a vision, you work on that. So the man was thrown into the pit and sold into slavery. And the thing is, I want to show you something again, is that if you know and that you are called for something, even if you can start from like ground, cleaning the floors, if you know that you want to be a billionaire one day, you will clean the floors. You will make sure that you clean those floors with all diligence, because you know that you are working on getting to where you're supposed to be. If today, let's say for instance, I need 10,000 rands and I don't have it, and they say to me, okay, NTOMBIKAYISE, we will give you you come and do our laundry, we'll pay you 5,000 every month. Because I have a goal, or let's say they will pay me 1,000 rand a month, it means I have to work for 10 months for me to have 10,000 to start my business. Don't you think that you won't lose anything to go do that laundry? But because we have that pride that we don't want to go get out of our comfort zone and do what is necessary for you to get to where you want to get. Sometimes we'll talk more. I don't want to say a lot of things, but sometimes we just don't see that we have to fight for our dreams, and we have to fight for these businesses. We have to fight for you have to fight for your idea. You have for it to exist and for it to be out there, for people to love it. You have to fight for it. And fighting for it, sometimes it doesn't mean that going out there and telling people that I'm fighting for this idea. You fight in those quiet spaces. You work when you don't want to work, but you know that you have a goal that you need to achieve. So Joseph became a prime minister in Egypt. He started as a slave. He went into Potiphar's house, and the woman accused him of wanting to sleep with him. With her. Okay, English data is getting depleted. It shows that we are about to finish this live. So then now they take him to jail for something he did not do. He goes to jail. He becomes excellent in jail. He becomes on top of everybody. He is reporting to the highest rank in jail. So you see, there's something about Joseph that we need to learn. And then from there, he goes from jail. He interprets the dreams for the friends. Sometimes you'll help people thinking that they will help you one day. They will forget about you. They will remember you when there's a crisis. Then they'll say, there's NTOMBIKAYISE. Let's say there's no speaker somewhere and the speakers maybe decided to turn them down. They will remember me when there's a crisis and say, there's NTOMBIKAYISE that you can. But when everything is okay, they don't remember you. Joseph was never remembered by those people that he interpreted the dreams. He told them, he said, please remember me when you're outside. They didn't. They remembered him when there was a crisis. The king dreamt, and no one could interpret the dream, and no one could tell what the king dreamt about. I'm talking about people who are skilled in reading dreams or in knowing the interpretation of dreams. Then now, the guy remembered and said, there's a man in jail who interpreted our dreams. God will cause people to remember you, whether they like it or not, in those opportunities that you missed or the opportunities that you think you missed. Because I believe that there's no opportunity that you miss that will never come again to give you another chance and another chance and another chance. Because I know that if God has called you for something, it is going to happen. Whether it takes 10 years, it takes 5 years, but definitely it is going to happen. And now Joseph goes and interprets a dream. And the man became prime minister. He was reporting to the king. You know, when you are working on yourself, when you don't give up, when you are consistent, when you're working on yourself every day, you will become a great person, even in spaces that you never thought you can be. And that's what we need. We need women who will rise up and say, I'm jealous of how I see our young girls doing things, selling themselves, looking for richer men for them to have all these things. Why don't we train our young girls to be business people, to be entrepreneurs, to educate them, to train, to mentor them, to make them to be women who will be financially independent? They will choose whatever partner they want to have in their lives, not because they want financial uh, dependability, but because they want to have a partner. So why don't we as women in business rise and take our girls, take them by our side and teach them how to be entrepreneurs at an early age, to start selling, to start building concepts, to start giving services. You know, look at your kids, look at the kids outside and start identifying, how can I help my community? How can I bring solutions? How can I be a solution to my country, to my community, to my space where I am? Women are crying outside here. They are staying in abusive relationships. They are being abused day in and day out. They can't come out because they are not financially independent. They are depending on these men who are abusing them. Why don't we take women and start workshops, train them, teach them, show them, equip them, give each other opportunities to be able to start businesses and be financially independent? Because in South Africa, the stats of of employment, like non-employment, is crazy. They don't have jobs because people are not starting business, or people are starting businesses are dying, and they are not growing, they are not hiring any people. Can we be the solution? Can we bring the solutions to the table? Can we bring solutions to our country? So as I'm closing, we have a launch of Women in Business. We are going to be women who are going to stand with each other, and we are going to give each other information. Go this side, go there, go there. There is information, there's this, there's that. You can do this, you can do that. We sell, we support each other. I no longer go buy things from only ShopRite or Pick and Pay or Woolworths or what. I buy certain things from my sisters. I buy certain things from the woman that is in business, that is selling something. Now I support. And we train each other to be quality people. You sell us quality. You give us quality services. You don't sell us things that are just, and then you expect us to support. You make sure that you're excellent, and you make sure that your products are quality. You make sure your services are quality so that we can support you. Even when I buy hair, I know that I buy good quality hair. I'm not buying something that you say this is 100% human hair only to find that it's synthetic. You sell us quality, then we support. We no longer go to certain spaces to support those people. We become a tribe of women who are supporting each other, who are building each other. There are certain women who are in their workplaces right now who are tired of being there. I had women who were talking to me through different platforms who were saying, you know what, Ntombi, we want to get out of 8 to 5. We train people, we give people things like necessary skills. At the end of the day, that person becomes your superior. Where now you still stay in the same position. They say they are tired. They say we want to get out of corporate. We want to build our own things. We want to build our own businesses. As I always say, you cannot leave your jobs, you cannot leave your qualifications. You can be a doctor in entrepreneurship, you can be a doctor in anything that you aspire to study. But you'll never leave those doctorates to your kids. You'll never leave that to your children. When you go, you leave earth, you go with them, because your kids cannot use those things. But you can build a business from ground up and take those kids and teach them how to sell, teach them how to make the coffee if you have a coffee shop, teach them how to do sandwiches, teach them how to do, if you're a fashion designer, how to, to sew clothes at an early age. Teach them to be chefs. Let them cook in the house. Let us skill our children. Let us give skills, starting with ourselves and take transferring it to our children, so that when we leave earth, you left your kids with skills for them to survive. You left them with skills for them to grow and leave it to the next generation and to the next generation. And the other thing is that there are many people that would want, guys, there is a lot of money in writing books. Write books. And in most cases, people think being an author is just this fancy thing. It's not fancy, but it is money in your pocket. When you write books like mine, like as I wrote a book, You're a Game Changer. This book, I sell it for 250. Say 250 times 50,000 people who would buy my book. Do you know that I have 12.5 million? You can do your calculations right now. 250 times 50,000 people who would buy my books. I'll have 12.5 million in my account. YouTube. Start YouTube channels. If you're good in cooking, if you're a good cook while you're doing this. You're doing live, you show people how you mix your things, how you use the herbs, and you show us even the end product of your plate, the plate, how it looks, the presentation, and how you eat as well. People eat on social media. They eat their food and they're getting paid for doing that. If you have a skill, you have something that you want to show, maybe you love decorating. While decorating your house, take your ring light, put it there, do your videos while decorating the house, showing other people. There are some people who doesn't even know how to decorate a house, but if they look at your videos, they get inspired and they start decorating the house the way you do, and then they feel like, wow, NTOMBIKAYISE showed me something that I did not realize and did not see. And then now you making money while you're sleeping, because people, they stay up until 3 a.m. they're watching the YouTube videos. You're making money while you're sleeping. Your TikToks. Don't use TikTok for just we take pictures, we just show off. Use it to monetize and to make money out of it. Use as much platforms as you can to make money. Money gives you freedom. Money is not freedom. Money gives you freedom to do whatever you would want to do. Go wherever you want to go. Buy whatever you want to buy and enjoy this life. So, in my last closing is that go, and whoever that you believe in, I believe in God. Go to whoever you believe in and say to God, okay, I say to God, He gives me power to get wealth. He does not give me wealth. He gives me power to get wealth. So I go to God and say, God, which business idea can I give or start, a service that I can give to humanity so that I can get an exchange of money, and then money will build wealth, because wealth is not only money, it is all areas of your life being fulfilled. Thank you everyone that has tuned in. I really appreciate you. It has not been an easy journey, but we are here. Thank you to all my loved ones, all the people that I love that just joined the live. I really appreciate you and I love you. And I'll see you next week, Tuesday. We're going to do it. We're going to grow into this thing, man. We're going to grow, baby steps, and we'll get there. And thank you. Please, 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 on your DMs, please give me any feedback, anything that you feel like you wanna add and you wanna talk to me about, let's do that. We are changing this game, and I love you all. Have yourself a great week ahead, and let's go out there and change the game and build those wealth and leave a legacy. I love you. Thank you. We are stopping. Yeah.